Hello, Maddie from Hello Interloper here with the latest in the Blood Brothers universe. There is a promotion going on right now that you all should know about. DeNA, I don't know how to say it, DeNA, I think that's actually how you're supposed to say their company name. But either way, they have another game called Defenders of Texel, and they're trying to get a lot of people to try to start playing it. So there is a crossover event going on where you make um, you use your current Mobage account to play Defenders of Texel, and depending on how far you get in this new crossover campaign, you get different sort of prizes in Blood Brothers. So I'll be going over that in a new video. So if you want to know more about that, check my other video. In this video, I'm going to be talking specifically about Special Dungeons number 12. So, keep watching if you want to know more about that. So, I will explain Special Dungeons 12 because there is a slight change in this whole event. In the last incarnation, let's say, of Special Dungeons, we saw the whole throwing away of the three different levels of towers. There was a novice one, an intermediate, and an advanced. But the last one introduced the Keystone Tower and the Magic Tower, with one being more magic-based, the other one being more attack-based. And there are, I believe, 11 floors in each. I could be wrong if they changed it, because I haven't gotten to the top of either of these towers so far, but either way, there's two different towers now. But this incarnation has a third area called the Vault of Trials, where basically you get to fight and capture bosses for a lot more points. The trick behind it is there are no longer tower pacts. Instead, what they have is you get the shards, and then you can forge magic packs and keystone packs respectively, or you can exchange one of each shard for a tower coin, which allows you to enter the Vault of Trials. If that information is wrong, I do apologize, because I'm taking it directly from the wiki. I have not gotten that far. I've just started the Magic Tower. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit behind in this event. But, seems pretty interesting. And of course, we do see some new bosses being introduced. There are two new bosses that are uncommon and evolve to rare. Of course, you don't want to use your Heart's Bloods on these guys because it's just really not worth it. But we have Jamie, the Prison Breaker, and Jace, or I guess JC, probably gonna be Jace, the Prison Breaker. So, two really creepy looking guys, and they're both, what are they called? Uncommons, which is kind of disappointing. And one of them has Bloodlust Lance, which I guess could be pretty good for some newbies. Of course, it ignores position and does this kind of all-at-once attack to all foes. And we've seen it in Bat Demon previously. Sorry, something in my throat. So then we have Mad Swing, which we've seen in that Iron Golem and also Golab the Mighty. Of course, most of us probably have not ever had Golab the Mighty, because he's rather new. But yeah, it's 1 to 3 foes, does a swinging attack for 170% attack. So, pretty interesting. But of course, these aren't exactly what we're looking for. The main boss is Sphinx, and her stats aren't really that bad for a special dungeon boss. And I'll actually show you her perfect stats, because we do see some stats going into 12k, and actually her agility goes to 12.3k, which is pretty nice for a special dungeon boss. It seems that with every special dungeons event, the stats kind of get higher and higher. Compared to some of the very, very early special dungeon bosses, she's a lot better. But she's got pretty high attack, alright HP, low defense, low wisdom, but agility is where she really shines, and she is pretty badass, very covered in blood. Let me show you the whole image here. Rather intimidating, and she has a new skill called Rear Blink Strike. It's an agility-based attack that does 100% agility, so in other words, her agility amount is the amount dealt, and it does damage to all foes in the rear ranks. So it's pretty interesting. It's kind of like ngmoco, but the complete opposite. While ngmoco does the front and the middle rows, she will get the rear ranks. Of course, it won't be that amazing because she does have an agility of 12,300, so she'll be doing that much to the rear line. But of course, they have defense taken into account and all that stuff, so it probably will not be ideally 12.3. So that is the boss, but however, there is a rare that is given out during this event. I will actually bring these pictures up. It's Oedipus the Wandering Warrior, or the Tragic King, when you fully evolve him. Let me get that bar away. How do you get that bar away? Yeah! It's not wanting to work with me. Oh, great, I got an ad now. Let me see if I can open this in a separate window so I don't have to deal with these stupid ads. Here we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, these are not his maximum stats, unfortunately, because whenever they show it, it's not perfect evolution. So it seems that he's mostly wisdom based, and he has strong arm tactics, which deals damage to all foes and sometimes lowers attack, which is kind of odd because you can see he has very high wisdom, and his second best stat is actually attack. So once again, kind of odd, but I can show you guys his perfect evolution stats, hopefully, if they're up. Okay, here we go. Actually, he's got quite a good attack when you see the perfect evolution. Almost 15k, he's got 15.6k wisdom, so that's rather interesting, but of course he's got a low defense, low agility, not so great HP. So let me get the actual stats here. So, actually the wisdom does come into play with this new attack. It's a sweeping attack that does 100% attack, so of course because he has almost 15k, that's a pretty good amount. Then his debuff is a 50% debuff, lowers attack of targets by 20% of the caster's wisdom. So it's a little bit complicated, but either way, kind of useful in case you're fighting some really tough stuff. So then, of course, that's just the rare. We got a new legendary. And let me open him up here. Typhon. Yes. Here we go. Oh, come on. Give me a break here. I should have set this up beforehand, I know. And okay, I can't open it for some reason, but I can show you the stats here. If anybody has played World of Warcraft, this guy kind of looks familiar to the water god, or whatever elemental god that you fight in. I can't even remember the place. It's the water realm thing in Cataclysm, but yeah, kind of looks like him, so that was my first impression. And of course his second evolution looks a little more intimidating. All those snakes are breathing fire now. But he has Hellfire, which of course we've seen many times before. In Impuza, Hellfire Anzu. Basically hurls a ball of flame to damage all foes, 100% wisdom multiplier, AoE attack. So if we just look over here, he does have a very high wisdom, so he will do a good amount of damage, and of course if you do buff that with Guile of Runes, it will do an amazing amount of damage. Why did that jump just then? I don't know. But of course he has a very low attack, low agility, so, and not so bad defense and HP, but it's really wisdom that he's very focused towards. So that's pretty much all you really need to know about special dungeons. The different, they're 2 pacts now for Keystone and Magic, and you can use one of each to create a tower coin, which allows you to go into the Vault of Trials. So, kind of interesting. The Vault of Trials does have the same bosses, however, but you do get massive points, which is pretty nice. And there's also one more infographic here that I have not opened yet, but it just basically shows the bosses here. Zone number 2, you get to try to capture these guys. Of course, they're uncommons that evolve into rares, so they're not that great. But then 5 to 10, you have a chance to get Sphinx, and then the Vault of Trials, you have a chance to get all of them. And apparently you need 3 tower coins to enter the Vault of Trials, so I'm sorry if I got a little confused there. So, yeah, should be interesting. And keep in mind that, of course, this is an event ally event, so make sure that you pick and choose your event allies wisely. What I usually do is, if I do add an event ally and they do not perform, I tend to take them off of my friends list before the event is over so I don't forget their names. Usually I just get rid of them, and it unfortunately does not get rid of them from your event ally list. They will still be your event ally until the end, but you won't add them as an event ally in the next event, because, if they don't perform well in an event, they probably won't perform well in the next event either. So, yeah, if you know you're probably not going to do well, if you want to save yourself a little bit of pain, whatever you do, do not, whoa, what just happened? Got a pop-up. Okay, sorry about that. So whatever you do, don't friend people if you know you're not going to participate in this event, because you're just going to have people probably getting rid of you from their friends list, and you'll just be leeching and whatnot. So if you're not a fan of Special Dungeons, I say just sit this one out. And I'm pretty sure the next one is going to be World Battle Coliseum. I could be wrong, of course, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, take care everybody, and good luck, and watch my next video about the Defenders of Texel crossover event if you want to get some cool prizes such as Scarlet Coins. Yes, you can get lots of Scarlet Coins, which is pretty nice. And of course it's free just for playing Defenders of Texel, so I'll explain that in the next video. Take care everyone.